Okay, this is the final video, having kind of helped you get through Pointer's argument for reason, moral objectivism. In his argument, you'll remember that he's saying that the right thing to do is based on principles or laws that are universal. They apply to all cultures. A culture cannot cannot disregard these principles and survive, or not do great damage to themselves. There is a objective answer to what is right and what is wrong. This is very contradictory to the notion of right or wrong being a product of circumstances, of culture, of history, of situation. And he's used various ideas to help him get there. One of the arguments that he uses is the Hobbes' idea about the state of nature. I'm just going to kind of walk through that. I'll just walk through it. Here's the problem. He says that Hobbes says that humans can only act out of self-interest. That is, all of our actions will, by virtue of human nature, be designed to secure our self-interest. So Hobbes does not buy into altruism. That is, an act can be just based on the interest of others. We'll talk more about that in class class. Second, he says that we are more or less equal in our ability to do harm. So this is a kind of hypothetical that Hobbes uses, and he's describing the state of nature. And in the state of nature, we will act out of self-interest, and we have an ability more or less equal to do harm to each other. In this state of nature, human beings often desire the same things. So if I'm in a state of nature and I have a neighbor a few miles down the road and he has a cow and some really nice carrots and vegetables, I desire his cow and his carrots and his vegetables, but we desire the same thing. And if I desire it, I could go over in a state of nature and get a big club and knock my neighbor over the head, take his cows and carrots and vegetables and the things that I want, and that we all desire similar things, and lead the cow and carry the carrots back to my place, and now I have stuff that I wanted. But the problem is my neighbor's likely to do the same thing in a state of nature. In a state of nature, everybody has free agency. They can do anything they want. And so my neighbor or another neighbor comes and sees now I have 3 cows and a lot of carrots and some really nice pears and things, but I have a neighbor who sees what I have, and so they come and knock me over the head and take it. In a state of nature, Hobbes argues this leads to anarchy. That's the consequence. Everybody's free. They can do anything they want. There is no right or wrong. There's nobody holding anybody accountable. And so our lives are short, solitary, poor, brutish, nasty, and life is not good. This seems to be contrary to what we want and to what we want of the human condition. We're in a state of constant war. So Hobbes says that there's a solution, and his solution is where reason enters in. And Poinman agrees. The solution is rational egoism. And rational egoism is the idea, a simple idea, that I will give up some of my natural liberty for the good of both myself and for the good of other people. This Hobbes calls the social contract. And the social contract is made up of lots of statements about what is right and what is wrong, what is allowed in society and what is not allowed. If a society gets it wrong, then life will be brutish, poor, nasty, short, be in a constant state of war. So the social morality and ethics has its origin in human beings being social. As long as we're social, there are things that are right and allowed to do, and there are things that are wrong to do. All written up in the social contract. Only in the social contract does the rationality of ethics and moral reasoning exist. But it exists in exactly the same way for all cultures, all societies, all time, and all history. It exists in the sense that we go to live together. And in order to live together, there have to be these moral principles. Morality, as we can see, becomes a form of necessary social control that indeed does limit our freedom, but our willingness to limit our freedom is rational and logical, because it's the only way that we can secure our own self-interest as well as the well-being of others. So there's lots of examples in literature where the social contract breaks down, and one of the ones discussed earlier in the book is Lord of the Flies. Okay, that's in the social contract is the beating heart of why it is that Poyman believes he doesn't have to have God to prove what is right and what is wrong. It's possible, using Hobbes' state of nature hypothetical example in the social contract, to see that there is right and there is wrong. We cannot allow people to take the life of others randomly. No society can exist if anybody can kill anybody for any cause, for any reason that they don't have to have a reason, or anybody can torture. A society could allow torture of children at any time for any reason. Any society that did not value the sacredness of life, and now you can start trying to make it your list. You can go back to Thomas Aquinas and look at his list of the high values that inform what is right and what is wrong. Poyman's argument is, in conclusion, Poyman's argument is there is absolute right and absolute wrong, and societies must abide by it. And it precedes communication. If communication is the tool we use to construct society, we cannot construct society and social relations outside of these governing principles and laws without destroying society. Hope that helps you secure his argument. And I'll see you. You'll be in class on Friday with Mariah, and I'll see you on Monday.